Which Team Rocket set's actually best? And what about other evil team sets? With the upcoming release of Destined Rivals, which is going to be the latest Team Rocket set, let's take a look at all the evil sets that have come out throughout history and rank them in order of what I think the best sets are. Some people swear by the OG sets always. Others like to take old ideas and just add a modern twist to it, like V's, V Max's with the Team Rocket. But today, we're truly going to put all evil teams head to head and see who's most likely to actually take over the Pokemon world. And I know what you're saying, because I did the same thing. Of course, it's going to be Team Rocket, the original Team Rocket set, that's going to come out on top. This list may surprise you. Now, don't forget, we're giving away a Prismatic Evolutions Booster Bundle. If you'd like to enter in to win one, all you have to do is comment down below on a video, and we will use a random comment selector to choose the winner. I believe we have 13 left to give out, so every 100 subscribers we hit, we will give out another one of these. So, I believe we're 50 subscribers away from giving out another one. Before we get into the rankings, let's actually go back and look at the history of these Team Rocket and Evil Team sets. So all the way back in 1997 is when it all started. They introduced the first evil villain team. Team Rocket, the OGs. And it was the first set we really got to play with, like, the darker side of Pokemon, right? Before, we were always like a happy-go-lucky trainer, and now we actually get kind of the, you know, not so nice side. And as a kid, maybe as an adult you don't look at it like that, but as a kid I was so hyped for that, thinking, oh man, I got the evil Charizard Dark Blastoise. That was my chase card, was a Dark Blastoise. I actually had one. I was so pumped about it. Everyone else would pull out Blastoise from base set. I would show Dark Blastoise and just hype it up constantly. And it wasn't just the fact they were Team Rocket, but the card art got a lot darker and a lot edgier. And still to this day, I much prefer that art style. Luckily, the Team Rocket set actually kind of carried that trend on through the Neo series. I really love that set. It's actually probably one of my top 5 sets of all time is the Team Rocket set. I just finished a master set of it, actually. Now, interesting information. This set is one of the smallest sets on this list, coming in with only 82 cards in the set. However, it actually has 83. This was the first set to introduce a secret rare, that is the Dark Raichu. As a kid, this was really exciting because you kind of knew what cards would be in the set, but then all of a sudden you got this super cool Raichu. And just like anything with Pokemon back then, there was always these myths and legends, like Mew under the truck. Raichu kind of had the same thing. Everyone's like, oh, this was leaked card that wasn't supposed to come from the factory, and we got it. That's why it doesn't match the number. It was an error. It shouldn't have released. Now we know today it wasn't, but as a kid, that stuff was like super hyped and super cool to think about. Now, let's take a look at the cards in the set. Because this is really what this whole list is going to come down to, is card arts and which cards you want in your collection you'd be the most proud of. So, at the top, we have Dark Dragonite, then Dark Blastoise, which is one of my favorite cards of all time. Dark Raichu, that first secret rare we talked about. Dark Alakazam. I see this one bought a lot and graded and tried and flipped. Dark Charizard, that seems a little low for Dark Charizard, but there it is. Dark Gyarados, Dark Machamp, the other Dark Charizard. You got the Holo, you got the non-Holo one that both do very well. Dark Hypno, Dark Slowbro, Dark Magneton. All the card arts in this set are fire. So, Team Rocket, really good looking set. This was my favorite set growing up. Man, I really wish Pokemon had this art style again. But that's just the beginning, as the TCG has always evolved and adapted. They did the same thing with the evil teams. Now, a lot of people think Team Rocket Returns comes next, but actually, it is Team Magma and Team Aqua. So that actually came out directly before Team Rocket Returns, and it's kind of like a continuation of the evil team sets. So you have your gym heroes and gym challenge type sets, where it's the trainer cards, like what we're seeing with Journey Together here, right? Where the evil teams is never really the gym. It's always like a dark Pokemon, or in this case, Magma Pokemon or Aqua Pokemon. But Pokemon took a giant shot of letting this one come out before Team Rocket. Everyone loves Team Rocket. The OG one did well. They took a shot in the dark to see how well this one would do, and it paid off. one of the mechanics they introduced at the time, the special energy cards, where if you had a Team Magma Pokemon, you could use that special energy to enhance it. And we still see that mechanic today in like battle style single strike cards or the ancient Pokemon type energies. So that is a mechanic that's stuck around ever since, those special energies for specific subtype Pokemon. This is one of my favorite art styles of all Pokemon. It still has that grittiness, but it starts getting a little more stylized. Now they start leaning in some direction I don't like, which is a very 3D rendered look that like X and Y is known for, which I hate with a passion. But they're not quite there yet, and a lot of their cards still look really good. And we can see that with the Blaziken and the Swampert. I actually have these two graded, actually. I still got to publish. I got it filmed, but my second video of my Pokemon collection. But those two were in my graded collection on the first video, so be sure to check that out. Then we have the Secret Rare Absol, the Sceptile, the 3 Legendary Dogs. This is actually a card I just picked up the other day, the Team Magma's Houndoom. I actually got another Houndoom somewhere that just came in. But the cards on this, especially the Team Magma and Team Aqua cards, just look amazing and one of my favorite sets. Probably my favorite is the Sharpedo and the Cacturn. But let me know what you guys think about these cards. I know this is right during like the less popular stage, so a lot of people don't really look at these cards too much. Now, Team Rocket Returns got its great comeback right after Team Magma and Team Aqua. They brought back the idea of Dark Pokemon, which is one of my favorite themes. Now, this set, a lot of people really aren't familiar with. I think it's a pretty popular set, but also kind of goes under the radar a lot like the last set. This generation just really didn't get a lot of attention, but this is a set you should keep your eyes on. One, the last booster box sold for over $48,000. That is nuts. I was struggling just to find info on the booster boxes online. But it's not just that. It's also, this is a set with the 3 Gold Star Pokemon, the 3 most valuable Gold Star Pokemon, the Torchic, the Mudkip, and the Trico, right? You can't even find these half the time, even if you wanted to spend the money, if you had it. These are very rare cards. So Team Rocket Returns comes in hitting hard with those 3 Gold Star Pokemon. Now, if we take a look at the card arts here, beautiful card arts once again. Now, this one definitely goes into the 3D render a little more, but they go even deeper into the darker, grittier aspect. And again, I love that darker, grittier theme to Pokemon cards. You got the Snorlax looking good, not my favorite. The Entei, the Mewtwo, Rocket's Moltres, Rocket's Hitmonchan, the Scyther. I believe the ones I just picked up the other day were actually the Houndoom, the Dark Houndoom, the Dark Hypno, and I believe it was the Dark Marowak. I gotta double check that. You know, you got a Pokemon buying habit when you can't remember expensive cards that are coming in. No, it was the Gold Bat. It was a promo stamped card. It actually isn't in the main set. It's the stamped promo card for Team Rocket Returns. So, I love the Crobat cards. But this one also introduced probably my favorite Charmeleon card, the Secret Rare Holo Charmeleon. Now, this one we're going to look at in a combined. That is the Plasma era. We have Plasma Storm, Plasma Freeze, and Plasma Blast. Now, these are very similar sets, and they actually came back to back to back. Essentially, it's the Team Plasma theme. It also introduced a very unique mechanic to the set. A lot of trainer cards, a lot of energy cards that specifically played towards that play style. Visually, the set looked unlike anything we had seen before. It had the very unique blue holographic borders and was the first set to introduce secret shiny Pokemon like the Charizard, the shiny Blastoise, the shiny Execute. So this set really introduced a lot. My only biggest complaint is this is heavy into the 3D art style, where to me, it looks like they took Pokemon Stadium, just took photos. I can't stand these, and I think the art styles are very, very poor in my opinion. But these hold up decently with how unique the card style is. Now, if we take a look at the top cards, we got 3 to look at. So this is Plasma Storm. This set is really stacked. We got the Charizard, we got the Lugia, the Blastoise, the Articuno, the Victini, the Cobalion, if we go down and look at the Plasma Freeze, the weirdest thing is the most expensive card in this one is the Ultra Ball at $433, beating Empoleon. You know you have a problem in your set when an Ultra Ball is your rare card. I think it was just a really hard card to pull. Latios, beautiful, beautiful cards. I actually really love those. Probably my 2 favorite. I really love the full arts in this set. They're very unique, and they beat the XY era style. I really like these full art cards. It's the normal like shiny hollows that just like, they're odd to me. They just look so weird. Like that Empoleon, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of off-putting for me. But one thing that's really cool, you guys should consider, it is cheaper to finish a master set of these than something like Surging Sparks or Prismatic Evolutions. So you could actually go back to a really old set right now, collect all these cards, and have a maybe not much cheaper, but you would have a cheaper set than Prismatic Evolutions or Surging Sparks right now. So I'd say go buy these, let those other sets drop in price, and then pick them up. But I'd definitely be checking these sets out. And lastly, we got Plasma Blast that had the Palkia and the Dialga as well as the Genesect. And most notably, the shiny weird Execute. I remember when this was blowing up a while back and everyone was going nuts for that Execute card. I really like the Jirachi card in the, what Lizardon Andrew calls it, Verizon card. So, can never pronounce that one. But I actually really like those 2 full arts. Colors just gel with me perfectly, but that Execute is very popular in this set. Now, after the Plasma series, we really haven't seen a evil set come out since the Diamond and Pearl set series. My opinion, I think the Plasma series they kind of did back to back to back 3 times in a row kind of ran it into the ground, and people kind of got tired of the evil sets. Now, there's also the possibility that after Diamond and Pearl, evil teams really didn't play as big of a role or really stood out as much as like the OGs like Team Rocket and Magma and Aqua. Those seem like genuinely evil teams, where everything after that just they kind of seem like silly supervillains in a cartoon, not really like actual evil teams you need to concern yourself with. So that could have also been it, just they weren't as popular, so why make sets of them if people don't really like them? And then we have the upcoming Journey Together set. So they skipped Sun and Moon, they skipped X and Y, they skipped Sword and Shield, and we're finally seeing an evil team come back in the Destined Rivals set coming out May 30th, which is actually my birthday, just so you guys know. So wish me happy birthday May 30th. Maybe we'll publish a video, but I'll probably be busy doing orders considering it's a release date on my birthday. So now, if any team can revive the evil team trend, it will be the Team Rocket. So I got my fingers crossed this is going to be a very great set. I know it's combined with kind of a gym trainer set as well, but I think it's going to go very, very well. Now, what people have been waiting for. Let's rank these in order from what I think is the worst set to the best set. Now, just because I say it's the worst doesn't mean it's horrible. It just means out of the evil team sets, it's the worst to what I consider the best. And I'll explain my breakdown as we do it. Now let's rank them. Warning, people are going to fight me in the comments, so be sure to let me know what your order was. Coming in at dead last is Plasma Freeze. There's nothing I really like about the set, so there's not really much else to say about it, so let's move on. Coming in at second to last is Plasma Blast. Now, that dead last spot to this was a significant jump, because I actually like Plasma Blast. I actually kind of like this set. I think it's a good set. You have the Jirachi and the Vizion that I love. Those are some of my favorite full arts. The colors just really pop for me. You have some of the shiny cards in it that I really like, and that Execute is in there. That is, if I was opening those packs and I got that Execute, I'd be pumped. But overall, I think it's a pretty strong set. Coming in at the third to last spot is Plasma Storm. This set literally just took all the heaviest hitters and shoved them into one set. Charizard, Blastoise, Lugia, etc. Then you add in the shiny versions of those cards, full art versions of the cards. Like, man, I don't know what they were thinking with the set, but they were trying to get toy stores and card shops doors broken down when they released this. I really think you could probably cut half of those cards from it and gave it to one of the other two, raised them up, and this set would have still been fire. But now let's get into the top 3, the ones people really care about, and hear me out before you guys murder me over this. Coming in at 3rd place is the OG Team Rocket. Yeah, I know. So there's several ways to look at this. One, you can look at it in isolation, meaning you just solely look at the card arts and compare them to the other ones in this ranking video. And if you did that, I would probably rank this one number 2. Because it's one of my favorite art styles. However, I think the Neo series did the art styles a little better, and the Gym Hero did. It was just kind of a continuation. It didn't really reinvent the art style, even though this is one of my top 5 sets of all times. It doesn't really stand out much compared to like the Neo sets and the Gym Challenger sets. So yes, the arts are great, but it was just kind of another set when it released. So there was not this big revolutionary thing that some of the other ones had that's on this list. Now, one thing I had to heavily consider was how much of my nostalgia is blinding me to this, because again, this was one of my favorite sets ever. I was so hyped when this set came out, and one of my favorite ones ever. So I really had to kind of take a step back and go, okay, if I was looking at Team Rocket Returns, and Aqua and Magma, and I was picking out cards I wanted to purchase today, so I sat down and did that, I would end up purchasing more cards from the other 2 than I would from this one. And then that's what really made me decide to place this in 3rd. I think it's one of the best sets ever, but card art wise and what I would want to purchase now, I was leaning towards those other 2. Now, I technically have a master set, but I don't think that played an effect in this. But my favorite thing about the Team Rocket set is the darker, the grittier look, and the simplicity. That's what the Neo series had very well. That's what the Gym Heroes and Gym Challengers set had really well, was simplicity. Where some of these other sets, they go a little over the top trying to make it look unique or make it look good. And I think that kills a lot of cards for me. That is the definition of the XY series. I'm going to keep crapping on them and people are eventually get mad at me, but I never liked the XY. XY is one... I tried to get back into Pokemon during the XY series and I hopped out because... Now coming in at number 2, Team Magma and Team Aqua. I played Gen 3 heavily back in the day. I had the game day 1. I played Emerald. I played Sapphire. I played Ruby. Actually, what order? I think I had Sapphire first, then Ruby, and then Emerald. Right? I had the first one on the little Game Boy where you had to have the light connected, and then they came out with the light up one. That was a game changer. You no longer had to sit by a light or hope you had a flashlight with you to play games. But this one, it's weird. The Pokemon in the set really don't stick for me. The Sceptile, the Groudon. However, I really like the cards. I'm not really as attached to Gen 3's Pokemon, so I really don't have that nostalgia bite. But when I look at the set, I really want a lot of the cards out there. So that really stood out to me as, okay, they must be really good card arts to make me do that. To make me want to get those over something like Team Rocket. Which that means the number 1 evil team out of all evil team sets is Team Rocket Returns. The sequel, baby. The sequel overcame the original for once. It was dark. It was gritty. They kept it simple. There's a few cards in that set that kind of went over the top. But overall, it was a pretty simple set. Pretty simple card arts that I really liked. This is the one I'm currently trying to master set. So if that says anything, I'm not even looking at the other 2. I'm currently just looking at this one solely to try and finish. But Team Rocket Returns is an amazing set. It's one that a lot of people really love, even though you don't hear a lot about it. The people who do love it, they're very hardcore on this. And I think it's because it kind of overcomes the OG set very well. If you think I messed up this ranking video, drop your rankings in the comment down below, and I'll respond to all comments within 24 hours and see what you guys think. So let me know, what order would you rank these, or do you agree with me completely? Are you guys mindless zombies who think I'm perfect and would never do anything wrong? So comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time here at Pokemoncards.